Always start these interviews off by asking when and where you were born and where you grew up.
I was born October the 29th, 1930, Woodson, Arkansas.
Okay.
I raised till I was 16 years old when I joined the Air Force. Spent 3 years in the Air Force. Then after discharging the Air Force, I got in the Marine Corps Reserve and was activated for the Korean War.
Well, let me ask you a little bit about growing up in Woodson. Who were your parents? What were their names?
My father died when I was 11 years old, so my mother raised us, and then she remarried Mr. Griffey, who was a wonderful man, and he raised me till I was 16, and then my two sisters till they were grown, sent them through school and everything.
Now, what was your mother's name?
Gussie Griffey.
Gussie Griffey. And what about you said you had two sisters? What were their names?
Alma and Madge.
All right.
Burch.
So where you went to school in Woodson?
I went to school at Hensley until the 8th grade, and then I went to Fuller.
Okay.
I quit school in 9th grade, I guess it was.
All right.
And I went to work at Little Rock Furniture Manufacturing Company down on East 2nd Street. And then I joined the Air Force at 16.
And what led you to join the Air Force?
I just wanted to be in the service.
Did you follow World War II at all when it was going on when you were younger?
I had two brothers, and they were half brothers. James Daughtry was in the Army, and Frank was in the Marine Corps. Their name was Daughtry.
So you think that's maybe kind of seeing them in their service kind of make you want to do the same thing?
Well, yeah, I wanted to be in the service. Yeah. My cousin and I was he was 16 also, a little bit younger than I am by age, but we got our mother to sign certificates in, and we were 17.
I was wondering how you got in so young.
And
so what did your mother think about that? You joining the service?
I guess she was glad. I don't know. She was a loving mother anyway.
When again did you join the Air Force in 47?
June the 3rd, 1947. I joined the Air Force and served until June the 10th, 1950.
Now, what did you do in the Air Force?
I was a crash rescue firefighter.
Okay. What did that involve?
Well, we was on the flight line, and if an airplane was coming in having problems or anything, we was there ready to, in case it crashed, to rescue the people and put out the fire.
Right. Where were you stationed at?
For part of my Air Force duty was in Burch Air Force Base in Austin, Texas, and then we went to England, and I was at Burton Wood, England, at Warrington, England, there between Liverpool and Manchester for the rest of my time.
Finished up with the Air Force, got out, and what happened after you got out?
Well, I wasn't working, and I gave this neighbor down at Woodson a ride to Little Rock, and he was going by to sign up for the Marine Corps Reserves, and I went with him, and so I signed up too. That was on June the 25th, 1950, and the day of the Korean War that they invaded South Korea, and they activated 1st Marine to our outfit there. I think it was 6th Rifle Company that reserves here in Little Rock.
So were you in the recruiting station when you heard about the war?
Well, I believe that's where I heard about it.
So did that give you any second thoughts?
No, I didn't think about being activated. I didn't.
Did you even know where Korea was, or had heard of it?
Never heard of it.
Yeah. How soon after you joined up were you activated?
Sometime in July.
Okay. So they didn't waste any time.
Didn't waste any time, no.
Yeah. So once you were activated, what happened?
shipped us to California on a train, and we went to California on a train and was assigned to units of the 1st Marine Division. I was assigned to the 11th Marine, 2nd Battalion, 11th Marines, which was artillery.
So you had not had any Marine Corps training up to that point, had you?
Not at all.
Yeah. So did they give you any kind of a crash course and once you got to California?
No.
Huh.
They assigned me to a unit, and I was a truck driver, ammunition hauler. Put me a 50 caliber machine gun on my truck, and give me a carbine rifle.
So you didn't even go through basic training?
No. Not Marine Corps, no.
Yeah. Huh. So do you remember anything about what was going on in California as far as what was going through your all's minds? I mean, obviously you knew you were getting ready to go overseas, but
I had no idea what was going on.
Really?
Had no idea.
Yeah.
We went to Kobe, Japan, and from there they loaded us on the LSTs, and we sailed for Incheon Landing on September the 15th. And that's when we realized what was going on.
Yeah.
From there they loaded us on the LSTs, and we sailed for Incheon Landing on September the 15th. And that's when we realized what was going on.
Yeah. Do you remember much about landing at Incheon?
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was, well, our LST was on dry, well, it wasn't dry land, it was mud. The next morning when we unloaded, and had to, when you went off the ramp on the LST, you couldn't let up or you'd sink. And that was...
How many trucks would they fit on there?
Oh, Lord, I don't know how many trucks. They had quite a few on there, and ducks too. You know, you got these ducks and stuff. And,
right.
And it was something else, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Now, were you loaded when you were on there?
We had ammunition. Yeah, we was loaded.
Okay. So you just drove off the LST, and then where did you go? What happened after that?
We went to our assignment where we were supposed to go. You know, they tell you where you go and all that, and you go there. And,
yeah. So what happened once you got into the city of Incheon? What all did you? Anything going on there?
I don't remember too much about the city now. All I know is remember all these dead North Koreans laying, you know, everywhere. It was something else.
Yeah. So you were driving through the streets and through there, and
we didn't set up in town. We out in the rice paddy usually somewhere.
Now, were there any other Arkansans in your unit?
Yes. Yeah, quite a few of us.
Okay. So that several of the guys from the reserve unit ended up in your unit, the 11th Marines?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, can you tell me a little bit about what happened after you left Incheon? Once they secured Incheon?
Once we secured Incheon, we moved on up to take Sewell, and we set up at a little town. I don't know where it's a little town now, but it's a Yongdong Po. And they had a heavy fire mission there at night into Sewell when they retaken it.
And so you guys delivered ammunition?
We delivered ammunition to the guns, you know, to the 105 officers.
So how often would you do that?
It's just as often as day and night sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. So they kept you busy?
Yeah, real busy.
So do you remember anything about going into Sewell?
Yeah, we crossed that bridge into Sewell. You know, they had to put a pontoon bridge across the river there. The bridge had been blown out.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's my memory now. I know I crossed the pontoon bridge going there. And then when we got across it, well, I don't know why I was alone, but my shotgun driver and I, we got our directions wrong, and we went the wrong way.
Uh-oh. Well, that's
But
not
we got to
good.
go a few miles down there, and then got all this firing going on. So we decided we was going the wrong way. Then we turned around, came back, and went on, and found out where we're supposed to go.
Uh-huh.
And we camped out in the palace, I guess, grounds or whatever it is, the
Uh-huh.
capital there. Yeah.
So what'd you think about that?
Well, that's something else.
Yeah.
It was. I don't know. It just.
Was it a little different from Arkansas?
Quite a bit.
Yeah. Did you see many civilians or anything around?
Well, you've seen quite a few civilians, yeah.
What'd they seem to think of you?
Well, I don't know what they thought, really. I didn't mingle with them or anything.
Right. Once you were in Seoul, what happened after that?
Well, when after we secured Seoul, and we went back to Incheon, loaded on LSTs, and went to Wonsan. Supposed to have made a beachhead at Wonsan, but it was already secured, and we just landed there. Went up in the hills, and we thought the war was over, and we was taking prisoners. The airplanes would come over and drop leaflets, and these Koreans would pick up these leaflets and wave them, But what they did, they had their guns and things stashed all in those hills up in there. And then after we got in there, well, every convoy came in there after that got ambushed. And Busby, my friend that was in North Little Rock, he was one of them. See, he got word that he had dependents and they was letting them come home. And he went back down to Wonsan, and then when he come back in there, well, got ambushed. It wasn't true that they was going to send him home. So he was pretty upset.
I can imagine. I would be upset too.
Yeah. Well, when we come out of the hills back, we was headed for the reservoir up there, and my recollection is now that we had our Thanksgiving dinner after we got out of the hills, and before we went to Haggerty.
You remember your Thanksgiving meal?
Yeah, we had turkey and all the trimmings. Yeah.
Was it hot?
Yeah, it was good.
Good. So did they?
That's my recollection of it. Now I read where they a lot of them talking about it being frozen, but mine wasn't.
What? That's good.
That was before we went to the Chosen Reservoir.
Yeah. You remember where that was? Where you had your Thanksgiving?
It was around Wonsan, somewhere around
Somewhere in there.
That's my memory.
Yeah. So they just had kitchens set up and
cooked, yeah.
And cooked and just went in there. So what was the weather like while you were up there?
Up where? Up at the reservoir?
Yeah.
Well, it got colder than hell.
Yeah.
Well, of course, anything colder than hell, but it got 40 below zero is what they say. Now, I didn't have a thermometer, I couldn't tell you, but it was cold. Yeah.
How did you deal with that?
Well, we just best you could, you put on all you could get on and just dealt with it.
Well,
in the daytime, you could get around 8 times, and whenever we was at the Haggeroo, at the camp there before we moved out, we had tents and things set up, and you could go in warm in the daytime. But nighttime, you couldn't because that's when you usually had your most attacks, at night.
So what did they just have you on sentry duty at night?
Well, when we wasn't hauling at night, yeah, we were on sentry duty. We were protecting the 105s. And as soon as the daylight, well, we started, hauling ammunition for our guns.
So at night,